Hi, ladies, welcome back. You should now have homework number 6 out and your textbook. As a matter of fact, your textbook could be turned to page 197, 198, because that's where the answers are going to begin. All right, homework number 6. First question: who was Cambyses, and what was his major achievement, and what happened on the way home, ideally from this major achievement? So, Cambyses was the son of Cyrus the Great, so he became the emperor after Cyrus. His major achievement was that he conquered Egypt in 525 BC. Now, if you're looking for where this answer comes from, it's right at the bottom of page 197. Unfortunately, on the way back home to Persia from Egypt, he died. And so the next question, number 2, was who became emperor after Cambyses and what was his biggest challenge? Well, the answer was the person who became emperor after Cambyses was Darius the First. The book calls him Darius the Organizer, and it kind of helps to find the answer to number 3, because the second part of number 2, which was what was his biggest challenge was facing the very difficult task of ruling this huge empire. And so, number 3, the question is, why was Darius successful, and what did he create to help his success? And so the answer was that he was very organized. The book calls him Darius the Organizer. He proved to be a very successful organizer of the empire. And the thing that he created, the second part of the question, was satrapies. These were districts. He created 20 territories that were called satrapies. The next question asked, what is a satrapy? And explain how it worked. Obviously, in all of these questions with second parts, you have to make sure and answer the whole question in order to get full credit. You'll also be most prepared for the quiz later in the week. So describe a satrapy and explain how it works. A satrapy was governed by a local official called a satrap. And so a satrap would be almost like a king of his region. So the emperor, in this case Darius, was over all of the different satraps, and so all of the satrapies reported back to him. So he was like the king of kings. And so the emperor had the final and absolute authority in the empire. The next question, number 5. What 2 forms did tributes take in Persia? Well, there were 2 forms of tributes. A tribute was a required payment from a ruler of a country to another, more powerful ruler, and so in this case, the satraps were paying tributes, and they could take one of 2 forms. One was in the form of soldiers. Sometimes they were slaves, but oftentimes they were soldiers for the empire's army. The second form of tribute was money for the empire's treasury. Number 6, describe 2 types of things Darius built with the tributes. 2 types of things, and so you need to follow that question. The first thing it mentions on page 199 is Darius used tribute money to build palaces at Persepolis and Susa, his 2 capitals, but that's one thing. The other thing, and most of you got it, he also used it for building roads. By 500 BC, a royal road connected the cities of Susa to Sardis, and so it was a royal road, a long road. So palaces and roads is what he used the tribute money for. Number 7, what message system did Darius create, and for what did it become known? He was the first to come up with a courier system. He had this tremendous expanded empire, and to get messages from one end of the empire to the other end of the empire, this courier system was made of horse riders. On horseback, they carried the messages from station to station. Sometimes they'd travel over 100 miles in a day. What it was known for, what did it become known for? It became known for how fast these messages would be able to travel from one part of the empire to the other. There's nothing in the world that travels faster than these Persian couriers, wrote Herodotus, an ancient historian. He went on to say, Nothing stops these couriers from covering their allotted stage in the quickest possible time, neither snow, rain, heat, nor darkness. I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, but that is where the United States Postal Office got a part of their motto. Neither rain nor sleet will hold us back from delivering the mail. That's where they got that idea. That's where they got the motto. Number 8, what did Darius introduce for his protection, and for what were they known? Well, he was the first to come up with what we still call today Secret Service. And they were his eyes and ears. They were the eyes and ears of the king. They kept him informed on what was going on, and probably kind of like a spy, like a secret CIA type service. Number 9, what event occurred in 479 BC that began the decline of the Persian Empire? And I asked for you to include names of significant people and places. And so in the answer, you need to at some point mention that Xerxes was the ruler, the son of Darius. And so he ruled until 479. In that year, the Greeks defeated the Persians in a fierce battle at Plataea. And so as a result of this battle, the Persians were driven out of Eastern Europe. And after Xerxes dies, the Persian Empire began to decline. So the question again was, what event occurred in 479 BC that began the decline of the Persian Empire? It was the fact that the Greeks defeated the Persians, and Xerxes suffered his first major loss. I know my son loves the movie 300, and actually you'll see the Emperor Xerxes in that movie. Number 10, using polytheism and prophet in your answer, describe the Persians' religious transition into Zoroastrianism. So if you go to page 200, Zoroastrianism is the pronunciation it gives for it. So the Persians were polytheistic. They believed in many gods. They believed in the gods of nature. And they really had no formal ceremonies, and they didn't build temples. But the royal family of Persia started to follow this practice of believing in one God. And Zarathustra was the founder of the religion. So polytheism and prophet in the answer. Zarathustra was a prophet, a person who was believed to speak or write with a message from God or a god. And so number 11, who was Zarathustra and Ahura Mazda? We just said that Zarathustra was a prophet, and he is the one who spoke for God, for Zoroastrianism. And Ahura Mazda was the wise Lord. They believed that he was the one God. Ahura Mazda was the one good God, a wise Lord who created all things. And so that would be the answers to homework number 6, which was the questions for pages 197 to 201. And so those 2 homework assignments plus the vocabulary assignment, homework number 4, are going to be the materials that you need to be aware of and have at your disposal to take and do well on quizzes, quiz number 2, parts 1 and 2 on Thursday and Friday. All right, ladies, see you in the morning.